And we are live, my good sir. How's it going, bro? How was your
What's
weekend?
up, Rick?
I'm chilling, bro. And you? How was your weekend?
It was cool. Short. Yours?
Yes, sir. It was all right, man. What was the last conversation we were having on the last episode?
Mm, Vaccines.
Yeah, I was enjoying that one. That was a pretty good conversation. Some people wish that they were on for that show. They missed out, and I guess later on we'll bring that up again and give them an opportunity to jump on it. But I like the conversation we were having after that with superheroes, and that's what brought us to today's topic. All right,
Yes.
we were doing a lot of this.
Yes. We are. Me and Rick and I strongly disagree on this topic.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a fun topic to have. And with that said, man, welcome to That's So Controversial. Daily Chat starts now. Welcome back to That's So Controversial. I'm your man Rick, and that is my boy Kyle Graham. What's going on?
What's up, bro? What's up?
Chilling. Always a pleasure to have you here. Always a pleasure, man. I am hyped about today's topic. It's one of the topics that you and I are definitely bumping heads on. We have different views and different theories and different reasons for it, but it's going to be a fun one.
Yes.
For those of you who are joining for the first time, welcome to the page. If you want to know more about us, got links in the description. Oh, I actually didn't put the links today, but if you go to any of our past videos, you see the links in the descriptions. We have That's So Controversial, IG, YouTube, and Facebook. You can join us anytime you want. Wasabi, Eddie, hello, Showcast. You guys always on time. Appreciate you. So, Kyle, you want to tell them a little bit about this?
Well, let's get to how we got here. I don't know how we got here, but we got in an intense Texan discussion. What was that? What day was that? Was that Saturday or was that Friday?
I think it was Friday night or Saturday night. It could have been. I'm not sure. It was over the weekend for sure.
It was definitely over the weekend. It was how did we get this is how we got there. I sent you a picture that I saw on Facebook about Batman, the new Batman story they want to do, which is going to be a comic book. The story is the story of Lucius Fox. His son is going to be taken over as Batman. That's how we got there. His son is African American, right? So that kind of, me and Rick already had this discussion before about how, I feel like we need to bring some diversity. Well, we both feel like we need to bring some diversity to the characters, but how we do it is when we bump heads at.
It was fun. It was a fun discussion to have.
This is like a part 3 of this discussion for us.
Yeah, basically, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, man. So, shall we?
Yes, we shall, man. So, what's the kind of questions we have here? All right. I guess that's the first one here, right? Let me just remove this out the way really quick. I guess that's the biggest question, right? That's when we first started like bumping heads. Like how to bring diversity to our super characters, right? Yeah. What's the best way about going that? And what were some of the ideas you had?
The way I this is my argument for the diversity to the superheroes. A lot of the characters and their backstories, they don't necessarily need to be a certain race. So I feel like you could just either change an origin story where is somebody coming from? Like, all right, so this person coming from middle America city, you can have them in a more populated city, and where diversity is present. That's one way you could do it. The other way you could do it is just say, you know what, we're going to make Bruce Wayne. We're going to make him a Black or Hispanic, and that's it. And just say, all right, well, everybody else in his family now is Black and Hispanic, or you have one parent, one race, and other parent, another race. There's ways to do it.
There are ways to do it. If you can do it cleverly, if you can do it in a way that's classy and that brings quality to the ethnicity, I think that's fantastic. But if you're just gonna now this superhero is a different ethnicity just for the sake of catering to everyone else, that's where I thought was different. I thought you was like watering down the impact of having a more diverse universe as far as superheroes are concerned.
No, yeah. Well, I do want that, but I don't see the issue with just saying we could change the character. We could change the story, we could change the character. Is it really, really, really that important?
Yeah,
My question is,
I'm gonna tell you my
why is
story.
it that important? That's my question. Why is
I'll
it so
tell you.
important? Give me an example of a character that cannot be changed.
I'll tell you one that did change that really got me upset, and then what came of that. Right, the very first one that bothered me personally was when they decided to kill off
Wow.
Spider-Man, and
Mm-hmm.
make him half black, half Hispanic. It really that got me upset. Spider-Man was Spider-Man. That's who he was, right? And it just bothered me that I thought it was lazy. I thought it was sloppy, and I thought it was just being they did it just to be politically correct, not because they felt strongly about creating diversity in the superhero world. I just thought it was really lazy, and I hated it. I was so pissed off. Like a lot of my friends who are into comic books, they were on the same page. But the way they developed his story, and how they brought like a real quality to his background, and like now Miles Morales is one of the best Spider-Mans in the Marvel universe right now. So in that case, I kind of did a flip flop on it. But
Mm-hmm.
initially, I was curious. I don't like when it happens. I'm not a fan of changing the ethnicity of a hero. It's like I just imagine for a moment your partner, you
Oh,
love them. I brought this up before. It's they do some Freaky Friday shit on it. You've seen the movies. Everybody has that initial shock value, like what you doing? I'm your wife. No, you're not. Who the hell are you? It's that shock value, that initial shock value. It's hard to like when you have an established fan base to
okay.
convince them that this is something different and we're trying
So,
to do something different.
so what's the difference? What's the difference when
Mhm.
you? Because just go back to that argument. Let's use Spider-Man, right?
Right,
The last four Spider-Mans, they've been different actors, right? We had Tobey
right.
Maguire, we had the tall weird kid, and then we had Tom Holland, right?
Andrew
And
Garfield and Tom Holland.
yeah, so we have three different actors. So you're saying
Uh-huh.
it's literally that person has to be that race.
Yeah,
Peter Parker has to be that race.
if his name is Peter Parker and we tell him the same story, yes, he has to be that race. As far as my opinion is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's the right thing. It's my personal opinion. As a fan of that material, I think it has to be represented in the same way that I'm used to it. That's just my personal opinion.
And that's fair. That's fair that you have your opinion. I say I'm on the other side of it. I say why not? Why? Why? What difference does it make if he's black, Hispanic? It doesn't make a difference to me because it's a character, right? It's a
Right.
non-fictional character. It's a fictional character.
Right.
It's a fiction character, right? So
Mhm.
that character just represents a type of hero. Like Batman can be anybody. Batman is a
Mhm.
symbol. It doesn't necessarily have to mean it's Bruce Wayne or anything like that, right? But I just don't understand what's the big deal.
I think it's like someone telling you what your favorite color, like somebody taking your favorite color and changing it on you and telling you now this is what's going to represent your new favorite color. I don't think it's something that's so important. Like, oh my God, it has to be this way, because I don't think it has to do with ethnicity. It has to do with familiarity and something that you're used to. So let's say your favorite color is blue, right? You know what the blue color is. You
Mhm.
love blue, right? And somebody turns blue orange and says, "This is the new shade of blue. This is how we're going to represent blue now." How are you going
But
to feel about your favorite color, blue?
they didn't change Spider-Man's costume from red to green. It's still the
Yes, they
same.
did.
It's still the same costume. It's the person behind it is changed.
They changed the costume.
No, come on.
The costume's actually cooler.
So just to get this, just to be extremely clear, because I've glanced over and seen a few comments about this Black Panther thing, right? Let me address this issue right now. No, you cannot replace the Black Panther with
Oh, that's
a
messed
white
up.
actor. You can't replace the Black Panther with a white actor. Why? Because
Wow.
where it takes place, the origin story matches the character it has to be. That's like you can't. It's just like you want to replace Wonder Woman with a man. No, she's from a world where there's nothing but Amazons who are women. So you cannot replace it. It goes strictly into the story. And this is the same thing to Black Panther. You can't have someone who there is not one white person in Wakanda end up being a Black Panther. That just doesn't make sense.
Charlize Theron is officially from Africa, bro. She was born and raised. She is more African than a lot of people I know.
I'm
What do
sorry,
you
who
say
you
with
said?
that? Right? Charlize Theron.
Okay.
She's African, born
Okay.
and raised. So she can't play it. She's from there, but she's
Wait,
she's white.
no, she can't play it.
She's born.
No, that person is the king of, well, for now, that person is the king of Wakanda. Right? Wakanda looks like it from the movie, and I'm not really a big comic guy. From the movie, 99.9, except for that one guy that was there, African American.
Okay.
You cannot come in and change that position. You cannot change that actor as that. But the most interesting point is that everyone wants to bring up the fact that the Black Panther, right? Let's bring up a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of other actors that you could bring up, but I guess everyone says, "Oh, well, because it's he's a Black actor."
He's the most
it's an easy target.
Yeah. Definitely.
Nothing was really said about Jason. Forgot his name. Playing Aquaman. They changed the entire look of that character. Blonde hair, blue eyes? No, not anymore. This dude is Hawaiian. And he looks more like a person of the sea rather than a California surfer. That's my point. So it's like we kind of have this thing where we have to stick to our guns on our races. But I wanted to remind people, and this is the argument I made. This is the argument I made when we was texting. When these stories were written, right? The country was represented predominantly by white males and maybe a white female, right? And every person of color was a sidekick.
Right.
Okay. So we have to keep that in mind as we're moving forward. Look, the country looks like now. The country is way more diverse. We have people with different sexual preference, different shades and races and ethnicities. That needs to be represented in the film industry and in superheroes.
Right. And that's why I say, like, why create ethnic versions of current heroes, and why not have like just brand new heroes with these new ethnicities? That's my thing. Why not just, instead of just watering down, being lazy, and be like, oh, now we have a Black Superman, now we have a Black Batman. Why not create a really important ethnic superhero? Why can't we create like an Indian superhero or Asian superhero that's really, really cool, that represents those things? That's my thing.
Why can't we? Why can't we?
Yeah, we have creators of all walks of life now.
Why do we have to? Why do we have to? I mean, where is like it has to be an equal playing field there, right? So you can't say we have a problem by changing this character. This is changing certain superhero characters. Where we see it a lot of time, we have people who don't look like they're from a certain African country play a king, or they get a tan and they play a certain different ethnicity. So the conversation is it's even weird that we're having this conversation, that I'm trying to say we should bring more diversity to it. And a lot of people feel like, no, let's stick to the old characters.
No. All right, I want to go back to your topic about Jason Momoa. It's funny because you brought a valid point, but I think my argument for that was that I wasn't a fan of Aquaman, so I didn't care. No, I think that's what it boils down to. It comes down to the fan base, like, of those characters. Because, like you said, like I don't think anybody in the comment section argue with that either. I don't think nobody cared what ethnicity Aquaman was because they weren't fans of the original character.
But it only matters when the original character. Martin Luther King is a non-fiction character, so that will never work. You can't change who he was in history.
No, I agree 100%. You can't. That's a biography. You can't do that.
You can't change he was a real guy. And I think that's wrong though. You can't pick and choose because this character is more popular than other characters.
No, not popular. Just like, my opinion is my opinion, right? So let's say I chose Spider-Man because I care about Spider-Man. I didn't care about Aquaman because I didn't care about Aquaman. So that's like, I also say as a personal preference. Like each hero has their fan base. Like, I'm not gonna argue for Aquaman being whatever ethnicity because I don't care.
Did you see The Lone Ranger?
No, but educate us if you have a story that's
Johnny Depp played a Native American.
Okay.
Nothing. Is it wrong? Is it right?
Wasn't it more like I think I did see that actually. Was it more like a comedic role though, or was it a serious role? Or did he make it a comedic role?
I wouldn't say he made it. It was an action. It was like Pirates of the Caribbean. It was one of those kind of type of things.
Yeah, I know that. Because I vaguely remember that, but I can see how that's being. I can see that because I think the character he played, was it a historic character? Like, was it based on
I'm not
someone?
sure. I'm not sure.
Because if that's the like you were saying, when it comes to biography and actual
Yeah, I don't
people
think so.
in,
Though.
yeah.
I don't think so.
But I think it does apply because if Indians saw that character as someone they looked up to,
Yeah.
they would want to be represented by an actual Indian. So that's a very valid argument. That's a very good point you brought up, actually.
So I just don't see the big deal of characters being changed to different diversity to represent different ethnic groups. The standard cannot only be white male. It cannot be. We have
No,
to
no,
move
no.
past one. Yeah, but that's what it seems like, that the standard is white male. That's the only thing.
No.
Superman can only be a white male, because if you're not a white male, you're not super or man. Like, no, it has
Superman
to be.
has been everything, including a robot. No, he
But
has.
listen, yeah, he has. But now, if you was to take that, because that's what the I forgot. That's an animated series where they have like
No,
6 different Supermans.
no, it came from the comic books. Also, they have a black Superman. It was the Man of Steel. They have. Oh, I think Superman has literally been done in virtually every race.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I just don't see the big deal. Um, I just don't see the big deal. And change. Let's bring some diversity. Let's make the
No,
characters look like who we represent. Who are the primary consumers of these tickets and stuff like that. So
right. And just to clarify, I want to believe that across the board, everybody believes that there should be a lot more diversity and a lot more representation in these fields. But I think that where we part ways a little bit is that when it comes to traditional kind, like personally, I'm Hispanic, obviously, right? I was not
Mhm.
a fan of Miles Morales. Miles Morales was Hispanic, so
Mhm.
like when it came to that case, it wasn't because of representation. If that was the case, I would have been like, oh yes, we finally got a Hispanic hero. But I felt like that was it was such a cop out. So you took somebody, you just changed them up instead of create. Like for me, I would have been a lot more excited for a new hero that was Hispanic, that's making some noise in the superhero field.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair.
And
You know.
also, I'm sorry, not to cut you off. And also, like I think if it's tastefully done, like what they're doing with the Batman story,
Mhm.
like it's still within the canon of the series. It's still within the original base characters, right? They just went in a different direction.
Yeah.
It's not like if they're like it's not like he's Bruce Wayne. If they say, "Oh, now Bruce Wayne is black," I think everybody's gonna lose their shit. But this is a story within the dynamic of the Batman universe, so it
Okay.
works. So if you could have a good story where you can create more diversity, more ethnicity within the storylines, that's fantastic. But if you're gonna take an established, just my opinion, like I said, this is not this is not the standard by
Mhm.
any means. My opinion is just like I think it's real lazy and it misrepresents us when you just take an established character and say, okay, now this one's gonna be gay, now this one's gonna be black, now this one's gonna be Indian. I would just rather have, all right, look at this new hero who's super cool, who's happened to be gay, Indian, black, whatever the case may be, and then that person has his own identity and represents the culture, in a way that's more, you know, valid. Like,
Okay.
who's your favorite black hero, if you have one?
I have a favorite superhero. I don't really necessarily see black or hero
Okay,
like that.
so who's your favorite hero?
I like Batman. I like Batman. Batman is one of
All
my favorite superheroes.
right, he's
Um,
dope. All right.
yeah, and it doesn't necessarily, like I said, it would be nice. It would be nice, and I think it would be fitting to bring diversity to these characters and to these major films, because it's a lot of money now in this genre.
Mhm.
Probably one of the most popular genres, if not the most popular genre in revenue bringing in. Revenue driven genre. So
Absolutely.
to bring, to say, all right, well, this person can only be that. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Marvel has made great strides in diversity, but let's not forget the fact that the original Avengers were 5 white men and 1 white woman, and
Right.
it took them about 10 movies before they brought diversity into that whole universe. And I'm not talking about sidekicks. I'm talking
Mhm.
about eight.
Right.
Black Widow is just now getting a movie, right?
Mhm.
Black Panther just got what Black Panther movie came out a couple of years ago. All of
Mhm.
those that will check the diversity box are just now getting movies.
But they've
And
been in
this
the
started in
comics for decades.
2009.
No, but they've been in the comics for decades.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking comics. I'm talking about
Major
studio film, where honestly where all the money is right now. So
I mean, Blade came out in '99.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the Marvel universe as
we. It is part of the Marvel universe.
Okay, that's not part of this. He's not part of Marvel Studios. He's not part of Marvel Studios. Because the first Iron Man wasn't part of Marvel Studios. This is only when they started the second one and they started going on and whatever.
Right.
But let's get to these comments because it seems like there's a lot of engagement here today.
All right. What's going on here? Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back.
Bringing diversity, I tell you. Bringing diversity, man. You make an argument for diversity. Wow.
Am I just your friend become Hispanic? You trying to diversify your friends?
No, not at all. Not at all. I am saying that we need to bring diversity to people that represent us. We need to bring.
I don't think that's an argument. I think people agree with you across the board. I just think the way we do it is where a lot of people are bumping heads.
All right.
Like I said, is what difference does it make? We touched on that a little bit. Right.
Talking about ethnicity.
No, I know. So what difference does it make? Basically, like she's just for it. It doesn't matter to this person. All right. Says I know who you're talking about. I think the newest Spider-Man is the best. That's she might be talking about
Miles Morales.
No, the newest Spider-Man I think she's talking about is
Tom Holland.
Yes, Tom Holland.
Mm-hmm.
And it began with another one. Who cares the ethnicity of a character unless it changes the story? That's a very interesting point. Also, a good point. Very good comment. If it doesn't change the story, who cares about the ethnicity? All right.
So just to be clear, in the original Avengers, back to that point, you could change ethnicity on all of those characters, and it wouldn't change the story.
Right.
Literally, you could change the character on all of those. You could change the origin story. Not even change it. You could change the actor of all those characters, and it wouldn't make not one difference to their backstory.
The actor or the ethnicity?
The actor or ethnicity.
The actor and the ethnicity?
Yeah, you could change either one.
Right. But I think what you will do
is Tony Stark literally be Will Smith. May not be. No one would do better than Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. But literally, just for point purposes, Tony Stark could literally be Will Smith or someone else, and it would not change his backstory. So I hear it's huh?
No, I agree. It wouldn't change the backstory, but I think what you alienate is the original fan base. Because, like I said, it's about familiarity. I don't think it has to do. I personally think it has to do with ethnicity. I don't think people are saying it. I don't think it's a racial thing where they say they shouldn't be black or white. It's just I think it's a familiarity thing.
Okay, it's a familiarity thing. That's what you're saying.
That's right. I think so. Because like other than that, like, even in my argument, that's the only thing that would bother me. It's not because he isn't white. It's not because he it doesn't look like what I remember. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So, all right, cool. So just so I can understand this. So if Will Smith or Jamie Foxx played Iron Man, Iron Man doesn't look the same anymore. I
would have lost my shit.
Okay. So the man behind the mask, the mask changes and everything, right?
If it's just Iron Man, you never see the man behind the mask, then it doesn't matter. But you know who the man behind the mask is.
Okay, cool.
Like trust me, I guarantee it's not because he's black.
Because it is. I read a comment that says, "So does this mean I could play the Black Panther?" If that person is not black,
who is it?
It's about race. That's definitely about race.
Put the comment in there. Where is it? What's this? Who said that? Oh,
if that person is not black, it's definitely about race.
Boy, my bad. Hold on. Again, I forgot to add the link to if you guys want to join the conversation. If not, me and Kyle go at each other's throat all day about this one, man. So I don't know if you want to throw the link in there real quick while I take care of this.
Oh,
it's not too much trouble. You know how to do it?
You talking about the StreamYard link?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have known it was him. I should have known it was Guzman. I should have known when I saw the comment.
So this means I can be like, no, I think you made a real solid argument about that because this person's origin story, I mean, there's no way you can tell it any other way. That's a very valid point you made, especially when it comes to the Black Panther. Not just because it's Chadwick Boseman and you want to respect him and stuff like that. I think it's impossible to tell that story with someone from any other ethnicity. I mean, ethnicity. My tongue is weird today. I don't know what's going on. It's impossible to tell the story. So that's a very valid point. I don't think that has anything to do with the fact. I don't think that has to do with. I don't think familiarity plays with that. I don't think ethnicity plays part of that. I think that has to do. That's directly related to the storytelling.
So here's my question.
All right, shoot. Just while I'm looking over these comments real quick.
Oh no, actually, let's get to the comments.
All right, so Kyle. All right, someone says, so Kyle, why do you think the characters have to be replaced and not just made new?
I don't necessarily think. Let me just to clarify here.
Okay.
I'm open to either one, but I'm not against them being replaced. I'm open to either one, but I am not against them being replaced by different actors. I think that it's just time to bring diversity, man. And I'm cool with even turning. I don't know. I'm cool with even turning the gender around, and so to speak.
See that again, I think that's really lazy. But if it's a good story, like if you're just gonna change them and say, "Oh, now Superman's a female," whatever. I'm not even like that. But they left them in the canon of the thing where his cousin is also has superpowers. Someone here wrote this really long comment. This isn't against anyone in particular, but I think this whole woke pseudo diversity needs to die hard. If you're woke, you see representation. However, you were already a comic book fan for more. I think there was more comment here. They just didn't show up. This person's obviously a comic book fan. Marmar says, as long as nobody replaces Henry Cavill, she's good. She's a huge Henry Cavill fan. Let's see this. What else is going on here?
What's the simulation? I think
Hancock. Okay.
Hancock is a.
Yeah. All right. In the comic, Falcon does take the mantle of Captain America for a while. All right. See, and that's what we were talking about earlier. Like, if they can incorporate it into the story, and they're not, whoa, what happened? What happened?
That's BS, bro. That's BS. I'm not saying what he said was BS, but I'm saying it's BS. Like, oh, okay, the sister became Captain America, but he's still the Falcon. It's BS, bro.
No. He actually becomes Captain America in the comic books.
Okay.
Like, he actually is called Captain America.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Cool.
Like he's legit.
Okay. I guess if you
ain't feeling to come up,
I'm not.
All right.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't know. I think it's. I do respect the comics, right? Do respect the origin of some of these stories. Say, all right, this person was that. Okay, it's fine. It's a fictional character. It could be changed. Well, it could be changed. I don't care. I'm not going to not watch a movie. That was backwards. I'm not going to, again, not watch a movie because of the ethnicity, to be honest with you. But I would like to see it represent people of color. That's all. I would like to see it. And how they go about doing it, some people say lazy or whatever. It's fine,
There's two comments here that touch on what I was saying here. D says the Lone Ranger flopped hard also. So the audience spoke. It was a terrible movie. I think that they had to say what you were saying, that Johnny Depp misrepresented the role. And again, this talked about the fan base right here. If the movie isn't true to the comic, you lose the true fans. And that's a pretty valid statement from what I was saying. I was talking about the established fan base. Mm-hmm. So it's not. I don't think it's something against diversity. I don't think no one's going to argue the fact that we need more representation, more diversity in films. I guess it's the argument is how you do that.
So I understand you saying that you're a historian, like how, but here is the hypocrisy though.
Okay,
Miles Morales was a new story, and you didn't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
What is it?
I grew to love it though. Like initially, I thought it was lazy. I hated the fact that they were killing off one of my favorite characters, and I hated the fact that I felt that it was a political thing. I don't think that it was something that they were being creative. I don't think it was something that they gave two shits about the Hispanic community. I don't think it's something that they were trying to create representation. My initial reaction was they're being fucking lazy. They're just taking a hero that's already established and giving him some ethnicity. and I was like, I wasn't with that.
Okay.
But turns out that they really fleshed out that story really, really well. It wasn't like what I thought it was. It wasn't that they were just trying to be politically correct. That Miles Morales story is hard. That shit is legit. They go into his family roots, his mother being Hispanic, his parents, his dad being black. Good.
No, I'm not to cut you. I just want to, because I've seen this a few times now, right? So,
Mhm.
and I think somebody said this in the woke and whatever comment. Just because you're bringing diversity doesn't make you politically correct. Those two things are not the same thing.
No, I agree.
Correct and bringing diversity are totally different things. To say that they're trying to bring diversity and make it politically correct is like saying, I'm not even going to try to break it down to analogy, but I really want to emphasize those are two totally different things. Like,
right,
politically correct, being politically correct is totally different than saying,
right.
Let's add diversity. I said that like 6 times in a row.
Yeah. Point made. Point made. Yeah, I just like I don't want to be represented in a lazy way. Simple as that. I would love to see myself like I'm not ethnocentric. I don't care about I'm not saying that it's not important to other people. I personally don't care about that stuff. As long as you can tell me a good story, I don't care where it came from. Like the original material. Like if you create a character that's really got some real good meat and potatoes on it and it's a good story, I honestly, my personal opinion, I know a lot of people care about representation and stuff like that, and I think it's important if you want to have that stuff, but we talk about this as far as actors are concerned, and I think this content also applies that I think that we're in a situation in life where we can create our own opportunities. Would you agree?
Partially,
yes, because you got the big studios with the larger amounts of funds who have the ability to reach larger audiences, right? But I think that I think there's more opportunity now, and I think it's happening more. You have series that are blowing up like Black Lightning. You familiar with Black Lightning?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the show.
You don't like it?
No, I'm familiar with the show.
Yeah, Black Lightning. They're doing Blade is coming into the MCU with Mahershala Ali. I hope I'm not butchering his name, which I thought was a questionable casting because I always saw Blade as more athletic and having more martial. I've never seen Mahershala Ali in a physical movie, so I was curious. But as an actor, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, Marvel usually gets it right anyway. So
yeah, I hope he puts in the work, man. Because I love Blade, man. Blade 1 and 2 was rock. Blade 3 was trash, but the first 2 was phenomenal, bro. What?
No, so Blade 3 was trash.
Oh hell yeah, it was absolute
garbage. Second Blade was the best one for me. I enjoyed that. Yeah. Let's get to some of these comments. I'm curious. I'm very curious to hear.
Which one strikes your fancy? Which one we gonna throw up here? We'll dissect and go into a little bit.
I was just looking because I didn't want to listen to you. I didn't want to not listen to you.
I appreciate that. I make that mistake so many times.
Goose made a good point. Create new characters, don't change the originals. Cool.
Okay. That's what I was saying.
I guess.
All right, let's go.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I say if it's not a big deal, then what's the big deal?
No, the big deal I think the reflect is that you're gonna lose the original fan base. That's what I think. Like, how do you feel about the Batman that you're talking about with Lucius Fox having his son take over the mantle? What's the storyline behind that? What happened to Bruce Wayne?
I'm not sure what happens. I didn't read the story. They're just not developing that story, I believe. It's not even his oldest son. That's his other son.
Who? What?
That's his other son. That's not even his oldest son. What?
Mm-hmm. But you see, that's a creative way.
And this is why I think it's a race thing. This is only why I think it's a race thing. And I think I touched on this point when we was talking. How many other characters became Batman? Literally the whole family, almost the whole entire family became Batman at one point. It was never an issue. But now that we introduce a person of color as Batman, now it's an issue.
No, I don't think anybody's saying that's an issue with this Batman.
Because all right.
No, because then, like I said, if they would have said he was Bruce Wayne, this is the new Batman, his name is Bruce Wayne, that's lazy. I don't want to hear that shit.
Your point is okay, gotcha.
I don't think anybody. I mean, I think it's awesome what they're doing with that storyline. They're incorporating Lucius Fox as an integral part of the Batman series, the Batman franchise, and they're letting his, story be told and expand upon. I think that's real clever. I think that's smart. That brings diversity to the series, and that's awesome way to do it. I don't think anybody would have. Now, I honestly believe if they would have called him Bruce Wayne and this new Batman, that's where you lose the fan base.
Gotcha.
My opinion.
No. It's. I understand. I just because I go back to the day. Remember the time where I was doing the casting, right? For an actress, for someone to play Kelly, right? And the person who ended up getting the role for Kelly, it's
not
unlike
a Kelly.
It's not a Kelly. It's not a Kelly. So I look at it that same way, right? If the character doesn't, doesn't need to be a certain ethnicity, why does it matter of that? Why does it matter if we introduce a different ethnicity to it?
I mean,
because the person who got it was a Hispanic person,
right? That's your story.
So okay, that's my story. So you're saying that because it's my story, I have that flexibility.
You dictate the way you tell your story. Absolutely. All right. Now that you've established this character as Hispanic, right? And if somebody gave you some backlash and said, why didn't you cast her as a white person and stuff like that? It's an unnecessary argument because that's your story. That's the way you decided to tell it. Okay. And if let's say, you changed the name also, right?
No, I really didn't change the name. We're debating about changing the name.
All right, so let's say Kelly is this Hispanic woman now, right? She goes on to be a really celebrated hero. Everybody knows Kelly as this Hispanic superhero person, right? Established. Now someone wants to make this movie and change Kelly to a white male.
Wait,
how do you feel about that? Oh, exactly. Yeah, they're changing everything about Kelly.
I would say if if it didn't change the story, if Kelly needed to be her origins needed to change slightly, like instead of her being from Wisconsin or something like that, she's from Bushwick.
Right.
Cool. Who cares?
Right.
It's a fictional character anyway. Who cares? But now
would care.
Yeah. Get a life. Yeah. Let's not. Come on, man. There's so much other things going on in the world, man.
No. I agree. It's just
not to offend anybody who is a diehard comic fan, but we all are fictional characters, and I'm literally just looking at it from the standpoint of that we need to diversity and to the situation. So
I think people agree with you 100% unequivocally. I don't think that's the argument.
I do. How we do it. You saying that we need to be more creative in how we do it.
Right. I'd rather have an original character. I don't want to see, let's say, all right, let's go with super villains, right?
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't want them to make Joker Hispanic all of a sudden just to make me happy, just so I can have representation. I'd rather have a new villain created that might even outwit the Joker, might be a better villain.
What if the character who what if the actor who went to go get that role was an extremely well fit for that role? You're not going to give him that role because he's Hispanic?
No, I think you're hitting it from a different angle, and it's a valid point. Like, I think as a creator, you have to make that decision, right? You're making you're creating a piece of work, right? And let's say you're duplicating another piece of art. You're taking something from paper, you're bringing it onto film. I guess if you're going to be the first person to do this for the first time, if you're the first one bringing Superman to the film, I think you have a responsibility to the original fans, because if not, remember, the only reason you're making this film is because there's already an established fan base based on that book. So now you're taking this responsibility on your own and deciding to be creative with it. And I think it failed with the Fantastic Four. They did a horrible job with that. Then they did it again, and they changed the ethnicity, thinking that it was going to care. Even Michael B. Jordan was like,
well, that movie was terrible. I don't think it had anything to do with it.
No, but he was getting some backlash because of that. A lot of people were getting upset because
he played a rock man. Because he played a man in a rock he was full of rock.
Fire.
Oh, he played. I'm sorry. He played. I'm sorry. I'm saying right there. Yeah. Okay. Right. I mean, so again,
and a lot of his interviews, people were giving him shit, and I liked the way he responded. He was like, he was like, "Y'all gotta watch it anyway." He was wrong because the fabulous was there.
It was terrible. Just all the way around.
They blotched Dr. Doom. Oh my God, it was terrible.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question now.
Sure.
Right? Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
Australian. playing the Joker.
Mhm.
That doesn't play. That doesn't. Joker was American. That doesn't play a part.
He, the actor was Australian, but he played an American as the Joker. He didn't have no. He wasn't Australian.
Keith Ledger is Australian, I believe. No.
He is the actor
Okay.
is, but
Okay.
he
So that's someone playing someone that he's not. He's playing a different. No. He's playing to.
there's no way he would play a black character. They just put it like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. But I'm saying now you have someone. Now we kind of get into this and like a different thing. He's playing an American. Thank you, show. He's playing an American now. So is that not the same thing? Because it happens across the board. We have a lot of. We actually had a Jeffrey Wright, an amazing actor, played Peoples in Shaft, another fictional character.
That
But
was dope.
he nailed. He played a Dominican dude. He nailed
That
it.
was dope. Yeah, he knocked that shit out the park.
So,
But to your same argument, he looked the part physically, visually. He did look the part.
okay.
Even though he wasn't the part, that was a very good point that you made, just like Heath Ledger. He
Mhm.
wasn't the part. He looked the part. He represented it very well. And that was a very good point that you stepped on your own foot on because Peoples was the man.
No, but what I'm saying is that, but Peoples is Jeffrey Wright is he look like he's biracial. Maybe he's just black. I don't know.
No, I think he is just like he's not Hispanic at all. And when I found out afterwards, I was like, oh shit, he had me fooled.
Because he literally played Martin Luther King a few years later. You know,
Really?
yeah, he did. So
I know
it's
that.
like, yeah, it was an interesting take, but I don't know, man. I just don't get the big deal. I don't see how, because we do it all the time when we have these actors from the UK come over and play Americans.
Right.
It's okay when they do it, right? But if you was to put a Hispanic person in the same role, it doesn't work. Why?
Well, I think Hispanics come in that large spectrum, right? Become as pale as white and as dark as black that you can get. So I think if you get a, I think it can, yeah, it has to represent the character visually. I think that's important. If you're gonna recreate an established character, you have to get the aesthetic right. And if you're from any walk of life that can represent that aesthetic without being hypocritical, like we talked about blackface, right? That shit is unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
We had to learn that the hard way. You took us to the school of hard knocks on that one. You and Thomas took us to the school, and we appreciate that. You know, we didn't know about that, but like that shit would not fly because now you got a white person, you know, in a mockery role playing a black person. No matter how great the acting chops is, they don't have the right features. You can't make that shit up. You can't dial them up to look the part. They will never look the part. But if you get someone from the Black Hispanic community, you can dial them up and make them look the part. You can get a European. This is happening. They're taking all the parts from the Americans, man. The Europeans are playing all the American roles.
Gotcha.
So I think if you can represent the aesthetic of the established franchise, I think that's gonna people are gonna give that a pass, in my opinion. But now, if you try to make him a completely different aesthetic,
the Jason Momoa thing, then, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
No. With the Jason Momoa thing, it's just I didn't care about the character itself. I think somebody actually touched on that earlier today. Hold on, let me just see if I can find that real quick. Aquaman is a great example. I don't care for the original character, and he looks nothing like Momoa, but Momoa did a great job. That actually touches on your point.
Yeah, and I just think that we should give the roles to the better actors, right?
I agree, but I think you are taking a chance.
You say, right? According to you, without changing the races, the best. So Peter Parker for you, and this is your opinion. Peter Parker for you has to be the best white young male actor.
At the time, yes, but now my favorite one is the one I hated in the beginning.
For Peter Parker, because this is Miles Morales.
Oh yeah, for Peter Parker, I would have to say yes. He would have to be, and I think even the creator Jim Lee. If I could, not Jim Lee. I'm sorry. Who's the guy? Stanley.
Stanley's name?
Yeah, for 2 seconds. Like even Stanley said, there was when they were making, I think, the Amazing Spider-Man, they were considering making him gay, and Stan Lee, they asked him how he felt about that, right? And he was like, he was okay with the idea. He had no problem with it, but like for the sake of the story itself, he would want him to be a Caucasian male.
Okay.
Or the original story.
You know, interesting story. You remember Batman Forever?
Yes,
Terrible movie, right? You know,
absolutely.
who was originally recast to play the Robin in that movie?
Oh, who?
Lanes.
Marlon Wayne.
Lanes. Such a backlash because they was going to make Robin an African American man, African American male. They breached the contract and casted the other dude, right? But so they
I did
still
not
had to,
know that.
they still have to pay Marlon Wayans for that. He still gets royalties off of that movie. And I think that goes back to the point I was trying to make, that we have to get beyond the standard of all these characters, all these fictional characters have to be a certain thing. I think that's the bigger issue, that we are at a standard where we believe, well, I'm not gonna say we believe it, consciously, but I think subconsciously we believe that white is the standard. And I think it's time to bring some diversity.
No, I
I
don't
know
think
we
that
agree
you
on
are, huh?
I know we agree on
Yeah,
the diversity.
no, but I don't think that. All right, what you're saying is that I don't think that they're saying that these heroes have to be. These are the creators. They're the ones who create them, so they have say when they sell certain rights of their
Mhm.
characters to be made on film. They have say on the direction of that character, and they're gonna want their character to be represented in as as
As with the
accurate
okay.
as accurate as possible as to their original creation.
Got you.
Like if you created a character and you sold the rights to a movie film, would you tell them would you let them have free range on your creation? Be like, look, find the best actor possible for the role. You want them to represent what you got on paper to be onto the screen.
It really depends on the origin story. It really does, and that was the point I was making earlier, kind of towards the Black Panther thing. Oh
Hmm.
no, not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight. Oh, nah, that's Mike is in the backstage, and I see him he just popped up on screen. It really has to do with the origins of the story. So if the character, if the character ethnicity plays a major part in their story, I'm all for it. All right, that character needs to do that. You need to create a new character rather than kind of piggyback the old original. Got it. I get it. However, if there's an opportunity, where that story is not so entrenched into
Right.
the ethnicity, why not? Let's give it a chance, And I
Right.
think Jonathan asked about James Bond. James Bond represents an agent.
Right.
He represents an agent. Does he really need to be a white male? Because he's been a white male since Sean Connery. Does he
Right.
really
And the tradition lives on.
does he really need to be a white male? Or you're saying, oh man, he shouldn't be 007. Maybe he should be 006, or he or she should be 006.
Right. Yeah. That's my opinion. No, but I think it has to do with I think when it comes to creating these characters, right? When you're gonna make them, money's always at the forefront of these conversations, right?
Absolutely.
And when you're trying to monopolize on that idea of money, right? You're working off your established fan base, right? So it's in your best interest to make sure that they are happy. So if they're a fan of your creation, you better believe that you better reproduce as close as possible to the original, because history will show you that anytime that they've veered away from the original thing, whether it's storytelling, whether it's the aesthetic, whether if it's too far off the original comics, that people will fucking fly away from it. That shit won't make a dime. And perfect example are with the Fantastic Four movies. They didn't so much change the ethnicity until the second go around, but they did change from the story and the dynamic, and that's why those movies flop. You changed from the original source material. You didn't. So I get it.
So is Little Mermaid gonna flop?
I'm not going to see that shit.
It's a mermaid. It's a mermaid, dude. It's a mermaid.
I know, but it's like, perfect example is Freaky Friday. Like I told you, right? They swap roles, right? And when you see this person for the first time, this person could tell you all your dark secrets. This is me. This is who I am. Damn it! You're gonna still it's that initial shock value. I think that's what it is. I think eventually, if the person does a good job, it's gonna be a success, right? Regardless, right? And even still, sometimes the fans are gonna go in droves whether the thing is a success or not. I think Mike back here is. You see, she knows.
Let's bring Mike in. He's been.
All right, Mike. You ready to come in? You want to put your 2 cents in? You got the 2 pennies, rub them together. He's nodding his head. All right. Mike, you have the floor. What are you going to address? And let us know now. And it'll be nice to have audio from Mike because he's just moving his lips.
What's up, man?
You already took what I was gonna say. Just think about when they change the storyline in a movie, people go crazy. So if you change the character, like you make Spider-Man, let's say black, it's not gonna fly with the original fans. I think it's easier to introduce new characters if you want diversity. Introduce them in the comic books first.
So, question: Would you not go watch a Spider-Man if Peter Parker happened to be Hispanic?
Well, you do have Miles Morales.
You're talking about Peter Parker. If they cast a black man to play Peter Parker, are you going to support that film?
I think it would.
It's a yes or no question, though.
No, I know. I know you.
No, it's not that simple because
I know you think about the political answer, but I mean,
it's a yes. I'm going to support it, or no, I'm not going to support it.
Right. All three of us are good people with good hearts, so this has nothing to do with racism. Your answer, your answer.
I'll buy my ticket, but it might
well,
change my opinion of the movie.
After your ticket, it doesn't matter. At that point, you know.
That's how I'm showing my support, though.
Did you guys see A Star Is Born?
A Star Is Born? No, I didn't.
No, it's with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. The movie was made 2 times over. It changed the end of the story. All right.
Oh yeah, I gotta look this up. Hold
on. Yeah. The way the main character died, they changed it twice. So,
but I think, and how did it do though?
Huh?
How well did it do?
I believe it won an Academy Award, maybe for best song. I'm not sure, but it was a great performance.
Do you think it had anything to do with their fan base because Bradley Cooper does have a big fan base, and so does Lady Gaga?
No, I'm going based off of not the fan base of the actors. I'm going fan base of the story.
Yeah,
fan base of the story is that he died in a car crash originally, and the new remake he died of suicide.
I don't know, but when I watch a Marvel or a DC movie and they change the storyline, it kind of like upsets me.
Yeah. Here's another example. Remember the girl? You guys ever watch the Teen Titans?
Yeah.
The live action.
Yeah. I've seen some of it. Yeah.
The live action. The orange girl. I mean, Star. What is her name? Star.
Yeah, Starfire or something like that.
It had a whole fit. The thing had a whole fit that she was being portrayed as an African American woman, mind you. And in comic books, she's orange.
So they should have found an orange person to play it, man. Oompa Loompas. They're looking for work.
It's definitely a race thing. I'm sorry, but it's definitely a race. I'm not saying it's a race thing with you guys, but I'm saying in the industry wide, it is a race thing. Because
I can see in that situation in
orange in the comics.
She's orange with, I guess, Caucasian features. That's a stretch. I'm stretching.
Yeah, you don't like it, bro. Yeah, you don't like it.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to approach it from a fan standpoint, right? Like I'm trying to see, like, she's an alien, quite frankly. So she doesn't have an ethnicity attached to her as far as our world is concerned. As far as humans are concerned, she's an alien character. So I don't think in that situation, I don't know what the argument is there.
Oh, I can say it's race.
No, it sounds like it. I mean, but I hate to have the race card play for everything, but I think in that situation, you might have a valid point because, quite frankly, Starfire is an alien. She's not a human character, so literally anybody could play that role in particular.
I think D. Jimenez has been a great point, and I do stand corrected on this.
Throw it up there.
Did mention, I'm not sure if it's a he or she, but that is a good point. I stand corrected. Heath Ledger, nationality and race is not the same thing, so that's a good point. Joker was white, and okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, man, I just don't. I don't see. I don't see the big deal. I do think it's time for diversity. How we go about it is not that big of a deal to me, But I do think that it's nothing wrong with changing ethnicity of characters.
Mhm. Yeah, we talked. D. Jimenez said something else. We touched on this earlier. We touched on this definitely. Yeah, this was fantastic. We talked about that earlier. That was a really good point that Kyle's made. Kyle. Kyle made a really good point on that. Yeah,
So,
he was my favorite. He was my favorite character in that whole movie.
oh yeah, he killed it.
Yeah,
he killed
absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
How would you feel about a 400-pound? Oh, now we body shaming.
Yeah, I'd love to see him climb the wall though.
I don't know, man. But the back to the, I saw a comment about the Joker. Originally played the original. Excuse me, the original Joker. Who is it? Played by.
Now, do you just want the superheroes to be changed? Because if you change the superheroes, you're gonna have to change the villains too.
Not necessarily.
And then when you change the villains, you might as well just change the story.
That's like creating a new character.
Yeah,
I think that there are a lot of there's a lot of diverse characters in the Marvel universe who just haven't gotten the light of day. Which like some of these people were saying, like Luke Cage, they're bringing back Blade. He's getting his due justice. I mean, Black Panther was just the beginning. You're gonna see a lot more diversity in Marvel. They're just bringing a lot more of their characters to light.
do you think it'll do well, Black Panther 2?
Why is Black Panther just the beginning? And I don't want you to think of that. I don't for anybody to watch it. I don't want you to think that this is a black thing for me. No, this is a diversity thing for me. Right. I'm not just saying that there should be more black characters lead. I'm saying that there should be more women. There should be more people of color in leads. You
don't think it's happening?
I think all of the major films have been the same character, the same fit for a character. All of the major films, with the exception of Black Panther.
Right.
Wonder Woman.
Luke Cage killed it.
On Netflix, yeah.
Yeah. Blade is definitely gonna kill it. There's no doubt about it. That has a solid fan base behind it. It's gonna kill it. Black Lightning was doing well in the series also.
What about Asian Americans?
Asian Americans. Oh, you have Amadeus Cho, the Asian Hulk.
Okay. Yeah. Won't see. I don't think that's going to see the big screen. And
don't be surprised. He has a real important role in the Marvel universe. So you'll be surprised.
I think it's difficult also to get past the hurdle, especially when you have a character, for example, like Heath Ledger. He did such a great job as a Joker. If you try to change it, it's going to be tough because people are always going to compare any Joker to him now.
He had the same problem going in, though. He had the same exact problem because he was worried about being compared to Jack Nicholson's Joker. So I don't think he's the gold standard. He did a fantastic job, but the Joker is always going to be an iconic character.
But there were two different Jokers too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because Jack Nicholson's Joker was more of a humorous Joker, whereas Heath Ledger was more of a serious Joker, demented.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that last Suicide Dream was. I don't know what that was.
That's the black green. There's the black Green Lantern.
No, I'm talking about the Suicide Dream with the Leto. Probably one of the best Jokers.
Suicide Squad.
That was a
you talking about joke. Suicide Squad?
Yeah, Suicide Squad.
No, I said Suicide Dream. I'm like, what?
Suicide Squad. Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. But Heath Ledger is my favorite Joker, and the dude who comes right behind him is the kid from Gotham, who was in Shameless. Yeah. He's like number 2 for me. I know Jack Nicholson was great, but this kid is really like number 2 for me. But yeah, back to what we was discussing, man. Yeah, man. Rick, I think we disagree on how we're gonna get there, but we do agree that it is a diversity thing that is needed. I think it just needs to represent who we are, and our kids need to see people like them and as superheroes.
I think it's coming though. I honestly believe it's coming. Marvel has the success now. I think that they're going in that direction. When it came to Black Panther, like that was an intention that to make sure that everybody involved with that film was primarily black. We're talking about everybody from the producers to all the employees. That was Marvel's intention with that thing to give them a platform.
They're gonna have to create new content anyways because Stan Lee's gone.
They have a ridiculous amount of content. Their library is vast. That they have a junk load of ethnicities also to play with. So maybe you can have characters that have like perfect example, even though it doesn't play to the diversity thing, but Guardians of the Galaxy was like it was not a huge Marvel property at all.
Mm-hmm.
But when they brought it to the big screen and they did such a good job of telling that story, they took a not so well known franchise and blew it up. Everybody loves Guardians of the Galaxy, so they're gonna try to do that with their lesser known characters, and then they're gonna try to bring a little more diversity. You'll see it. It's gonna happen. It's coming. It's coming. I don't think you would have asked me this question 10, 15 years ago. I would have definitely been on board. Like we need a lot more representation. But I think that's the direction that Hollywood is going. Not necessarily because they want to, but because I think they're bending with the political and social landscape as it changes. They that's just the way Hollywood is. They'll fold always with the pressure of the media and society.
What did you think about Captain Marvel? The casting for Captain Marvel.
Hated it.
Me too. I didn't think that she fit the part.
Hated it. And not because she was a woman, because Captain Marvel was supposed to be a man. The fact that they were a woman that was fine, but I just think that was a poor casting. That's like Cal's point was talking about. Is we can get somebody to play the role really well. I mean, that's important too, not just the aesthetic. I'm sorry, go ahead, Cal.
No, I was just going to touch on like your point. You said if I would have had asked you this 10 years ago, 10 years ago makes us in 2010, right?
I said 10, 15 years ago. We go a little further back. When I said 10 years ago, I had to go a little further back. Wait, a little
15 years ago, right?
Okay, yeah.
Since 15 years ago, we had this conversation. Yeah, it's time for diversity. Since then, how many characters have we had of person of color in the lead role in a major film?
All right. I'm not going to pretend to be that person that knows all this stuff.
Let's go off of the superhero that we came out.
Right. In the last 15 years?
Yeah.
That takes us, to 2005?
Yep. Blade came out. When did Blade come out?
99. Blade is 1999.
So Blade, take Blade off the list.
Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second. If anybody anybody watching this has any information, was a historian, and when it comes to movies and films since 2005, what kind of ethnic, not just black, ethnic heroes came to light that you know of? Because I'm not going to pretend to say
major film. The question is a major film by a major film. Right. I can only think of Black Panther and Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And Harley Quinn's Wicked, whatever, emancipation thing.
Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey.
It's actually really good. Catwoman, played by Halle Berry, which they could have saved their money on because it was just terrible.
That was terrible. And I don't think that had to do with ethnicity. She just did a terrible job.
No, you know, it wasn't so. Yeah, okay. I'm not even going to argue that. It wasn't so much her, but the movie, the storyline was just bad.
No, it was.
Yeah. No, I think he has a point too. That was a terrible story.
It was a storyline. It was just a storyline, wasn't it?
I like Halle Berry in certain roles. That was just not. That wasn't one of them. That wasn't one of them.
So, whoa! Show has lost all credibility for the rest of the night.
So you like Michelle Pfeiffer better as Catwoman?
My favorite.
She's cool, yeah.
I love her. She was my favorite. You know what? Because for me, Catwoman has to have a level of sexuality, and I think that Michelle Pfeiffer brought that to the table better than any Catwoman to date, with the exception of the TV show Catwoman from the early time. I forget
I got you.
Name. It wasn't that bad. And The Dark Knight.
She was a great actress. I loved her acting. I don't like her as Catwoman, but she's a phenomenal actress. I love her as an actress. She is amazing. Even in that film, her acting was superb.
That was a great trilogy. That trilogy was amazing. The Dark Knight trilogy. But yeah, I mean,
Lucius Fox. He's in the Batman series, man. He played a prominent role in it. He was Batman's conscience in
the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Lucius Fox.
Yeah. Well, what was that? What was that? What were you telling me that for?
No, you asked me like about somebody in the leading role. He's kind of co-starring.
No. Lucius Fox is not. No, I am waiting for that answer. How many people of color we had since 15 years ago in leading roles?
All right, if anybody watching can answer this question, because I got no
count. I don't think if we have to think this hard,
surge.
If we have to think this hard, that means it's not enough. I'm talking about women. I'm talking about men. I'm talking about men and women of color. It's not enough.
Oh, Hold up. Nick Fury, baby. Come on now.
I said leading roles, bro. Not in the film. Leading roles.
He's a leading role.
Leading roles, bro. I'm talking about name is the first that come up with the credits.
All right.
We're not gonna fit. We're not, bro. War Machine has a main role. Again, he is a sidekick. He's a sidekick.
Michael Jai White played a bunch of superheroes.
Yeah, he played Black Spawn, but that was before the 90s.
Yeah, so he goes even further back. He was before the timetable I gave.
Okay.
Blankman's a superhero.
Who?
Blankman. Wow.
Blankman was incredible, bro.
I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say incredible.
Can we address this Little Mermaid issue once and for all?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge fan of Little Mermaid. And again, it goes back to, just aesthetics and being familiar with that person. And I'm just so I don't see the Little Mermaid when I see this new actress.
You don't remember when he wore the belly button T-shirt to work of the Little Mermaid?
I'm confused about this, man.
Yeah, what happened? The problem is that Diop looks nothing like the character. I don't know. Let me look this up. I don't know. Missed that one.
So here's my last thing, because I think we agree on the diversity thing, right? Just the method.
It's just the method, right?
So would you have a problem with someone Hispanic or Black playing the Joker if they did as good a job as Heath Ledger? I
think the Joker is an exception because he wears makeup.
So it's a visual thing for us.
Yes, I tell you that it's aesthetics.
But
absolutely.
There's Hispanics that look white, so you could probably pull it off too, though.
Right, we talked about that.
You gotta look white. You gotta look white.
You gotta look whatever the script says, right? Whatever the creator created, that's what he's gonna want displayed. If you create a character, you're gonna want them to look a certain way.
No, I proved that point.
But that's still considered diversity, though.
No, but I'm talking I'm not talking about when you're initially creating the character.
Mm-hmm.
So once your character is established, it has a fan base, and you're gonna convert from the pages that you've created. It's an established character. It has an established fan base. Are you gonna alienate your fan base by dramatically changing who your character looks like?
You can't, because you're not being true to the story then.
Yeah, and that's all it is.
Okay.
No, but that's my point. I'm not saying in the creation process, because that's a different argument, right? You haven't established the character, right? You're creating it, and it can change with the artistic flow of the person who's going to play it, right? You might change your vision for that character, but that character hasn't been established yet, right? Once you establish who that character is, the aesthetic, the sexuality, everything that develops that character. Once you develop that character, you establish a fan base, and now you want to transition to the film. Are you going to make a dramatic transition from what you've created to the film, as far as what your character what the representation of your character looks like on film? Being honest with yourself.
Would I have a problem with that change?
Yes. If you created a Black superhero and somebody wants to buy the rights and say, I'm going to hire this white actor.
I'm creating a vigilante story right now, like I was telling you. And
right.
the superhero vigilante story.
Right.
Kind of anti-hero character.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, in the process, she is a Black woman. All right.
Okay.
Now, if I get further down the story, or if I start to do casting, right, and that character
in the creation process, this is during the creation process.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the way I vision right now as a Black woman, right? If I get to the process and I get to act, and I'm like, and I see an amazing actress, and I'm like, and she's not what I envisioned,
right?
If she does the role, and I'm like, you know what? All right, we can change this. We can make this work for that character. I'm open to that.
I agree 100%.
I'm open to that.
There's no argument there.
So what you're saying is that, all right, this is years down the line after that character has been established, and I made 3 versions. Okay, I mean, would I have a problem changing it? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know.
Right, but that's the argument.
Okay,
that's the argument. You created it. You bust your. You put in the work. You did the casting. You've changed your mind because of the casting. You was gonna make a white person. Now you're gonna make a Black person. You've established this character. You created it. It did well. People love this character you created. You have an established family. You're selling 1,000,000 books a week.
Mhm.
Now someone offers you a contract to make the movie. But they say, you know what? If we're gonna make this movie, we're gonna hire this white actress. That she is phenomenal. People are gonna forget the fact that the character used to be black. What are you gonna say?
I have to think about that one. I have to think
Yeah.
about that. But
I guarantee that.
but
I
then, but
guarantee your fans are gonna lose their shit because you have an established fan base. They say, hell no, that's not who we watch. That's not the character. That's not who Kyle created. That's
Yeah,
not
but-
who I fell in love with.
okay, fair enough.
I'm not
Fair
trying
enough.
to change your mind. I'm telling you
No,
my
no, no. I mean, fair enough. So does this go into the fact that, like, let's just say let's take a movie that we have now, right? That we all love, John Wick. Or Neil. If they was to do a remake of the Matrix, and Neil was not Neil no more, it was a woman, would you have a problem with that?
Is it a retelling, a reimagining, or is it the
It's a
same story?
It's a remake.
Are they telling the same story or it's a different story? I don't know if I'm going to be a fan. It's kind of like with the Ghostbusters situation, right? How they made the female Ghostbusters. I wasn't a fan. The movie flopped. Not because I wasn't a fan, but because I think you alienated the original fan base.
But different story though. That wasn't even the same story.
How would you feel about that, Kyle?
What's
If
that?
they changed it, the Matrix.
If they changed it and the story made sense,
Mhm.
go with it. Go with it. It's a fictional character.
No,
Do you
but
think
what,
it's going to be successful as it was
that's the
before then?
question. What do you think the original fans, the one who are pumping money into that franchise, or you think they're going to support it? I think that's the question. You can make it, sure, absolutely. You have all the free range to do whatever you want, but you think that the original fan base is going to support it?
Wait, hold on. So you guys want to go see a Matrix reboot with the casted as an amazing actress? As a matter of fact, I give you a perfect example. Let's use the woman from the Old Guard. You ever seen that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
She's an amazing actress. She's in literally everything. If
Mhm.
she decided they casted her for that role, would you guys not go see that movie?
If I watched it, it would have to be. I would have to convince myself that it's not part of the original franchise. That's a different movie.
Would you guys go see the movie? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'm not lying.
All right.
I probably would.
I see you already supported it right there. So you support it.
Right.
So you
Right.
already paid the money. That's all that really counts at the end of the day. Like, oh
Yeah, but all right. But am I gonna? It has to be a good movie. Maybe yes, I support it, but maybe I go back and say, don't go watch that shit. That shit was garbage. It has nothing to do with the Matrix, and that's where it flops. Because
Okay.
you're gonna get your initial money from the fans who are curious, right? If they're gonna support the franchise, say, you know what? I haven't seen a Matrix movie in a long time. Let's see what this one's about. Let's give it a shot. And if they didn't do a good job, and the aesthetics is that bad, you just can't get over it. There's not going to be no repeat views. It's not going to do well. It's just going to flop.
And one thing I know about Rick is that if he's a true fan of something, because we used to, a group of us used to go to the movies. You would see it more than once, anyways. Where instead of just seeing it one time.
Okay, fair enough.
So my question to you is: do you think that Black Panther 2 will be as successful as 1?
I don't think they're not going to do a Black Panther 2.
Oh, they are. They just started filming.
Really?
They just started filming. Yeah.
No, they're not recasting Black Panther.
They're
Though.
not recasting him. No.
Yeah.
They're gonna move on with the story, and Rick is okay with that because they're moving on with the story, right?
Right.
That's the whole thing. If it's a change of the story, if it's moving on, the story is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people associate the guy who died, Chadwick, for Black Panther. Like even kids when they see him on TV, oh, that's Black Panther. So it's gonna be tough to convince them that there's a new Black Panther in town.
I think it's the respect. I think Marvel's just respecting Chadwick, and I think it's the way they're paying homage to him. They're just they're sending love his way. If Mulan wasn't Asian, would you be okay with it?
That's the same thing with Black Panther to me. It's the same exact situation.
Yeah, you can't tell that story. It's impossible.
Yeah.
But you know what? In the same breath of that same comment, that's what happened with Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson when she did Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
But granted, Ghost in the Shell was a robot. So, but it was a Japanese animation. So
yeah, I just think that I don't know. I find it so weird. Like now, kind of like looking at it from a different standpoint, I just find it weird that we are so caught up on race.
It's not race.
Color. I
Aesthetic.
think
aesthetic, bro. It's aesthetic. I guarantee you, it's aesthetic.
if you want to put lipstick on a pig, fine. That's fine. But it is what it is.
What you say?
You want to put lipstick on a pig, it's fine. All right, whatever works for you. Aesthetic, race, you call it what you want to call it.
No, because I mean, I'm not gonna say it's race because I'm not thinking about race when it comes to this. I'm thinking about, huh?
That's you though. But well, you kind of are thinking about race, and I'm not saying in a negative way, but you are.
Right.
You're thinking about you didn't give Miles Morales a chance, bro.
But now I look, he's my favorite now. Everybody loves Miles Morales. He's kicking.
He's the only one that got a video game out of it.
Yeah, he's killing it. He's killing the game. Miles Morales. I mean, I think everybody. I mean, the story was well fleshed out. It took place in an alternate universe for one. And no, it's the truth. It's not part of Peter Parker's still alive. He's still around in another universe, you know, and Earth 616, if you will.
I don't know, man. Between your Peter Parker and your Little Mermaid, I don't know, man.
Damn. How can I explain this to you in a way that you do?
I think we kind of jumped around it. You know, I really want to understand the Little Mermaid situation.
No, it's like a character. It's like just being a fan of something, right? And then somebody just changing everything about it. Maybe she does a great job. Maybe she does a fantastic job. But when I see it, I won't see Ariel. I won't see King Triton's daughter. You know, I won't see the person that I fell in love with.
It's a damn mermaid.
He had a crush, man. He had a big crush.
Yeah, no, and it happened with the Beauty and the Beast also. And this has nothing to do with ethnicity. I love Beauty and the Beast. I thought that shit was horribly cast. I from the way they depicted the Beast to the casting of the Harry Potter chick, I was fucking furious. It didn't look like Belle. That wasn't Belle. Even Gaston, I hated the casting for Gaston. That guy was too damn scrawny to be Gaston. You had to find the most fittest, prettiest dude to play Gaston. So we're talking about the aesthetic. It has to have the look. And Beauty and the Beast failed across the board, top to bottom from the casting. They did nothing right, in my opinion. Okay. I hated the live action Beauty and the Beast.
Okay. I mean, a lot of the live actions were terrible. Like Lion King was terrible. It looked like that was more like a Nat Geo documentary than anything. Aladdin was good. I thought Aladdin was good. I mean,
I enjoyed Aladdin, and that was just.
I think Will Smith did a decent job. I mean, no one is ever going to be Robin.
Nah, yeah, he killed it. Robin
Williams. You know, that's just who it is. What it is with that.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
I went to go see that, and that's
Aladdin.
Yeah, I went to go see that in the theater. You gonna watch today? You said
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah, and that's actually a unique situation because while I was a fan of the original Aladdin, I'm also a fan of Will Smith. So I was curious about how he would depict the character. See, now that's different. If I didn't know who the actor was, and it was something, I mean, granted, the genie's not a real person.
But okay.
But yeah.
But okay. All right. I see what you mean now.
I had low
I mean, he's not a human being.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
I had low expectations of that movie, but then after I saw it, I also liked it too.
Wow. You really have a thing for Little Mermaid, huh?
Yeah, my son gave me shit about it. I had a shirt on, went to Disney World that says I'm with her, and my wife says I'm with him, right? So he knows about my Little Mermaid crush. So I was gonna go see the Little Mermaid, and my son tells me in a serious face, "You better not let that finger point at the Little Mermaid."
Oh man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. You're not gonna like this at all. Never seen a Little Mermaid.
It's not for everybody. That's oh my god, that's one of my favorite all-time movies, but not just animated films. That's one of my favorite all-time movies, bro.
Yes, that's who she is. All right, thank you, D. That's what he meant by he or she. I'm not sure if these.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Diop is the girl. She's from 24. She played in 24. She was really good in that.
Okay, gotcha.
So the last thing 24. Yeah, man. But all right. I mean,
We went over because it was such a good good topic, man.
You know, I think that
We agree to disagree.
You know, no, I hear what you're saying. I legit understand what you're saying. You know, you rather the stories be changed to new characters of diversity. I get it. And what we disagree is that I don't think it's a big deal if we do, if we don't.
Right.
You know, but
you understand the dynamic of the original fan base, right? And money making aspect of it.
I understand. I do understand it.
We'll give you Will Smith though.
I mean, it's a couple of the characters that change, but you know, we're not going to have to get into the details of whatever. But you know, it is what it is, man. It is. We're going to agree to disagree on this one.
That was fun, bro. I enjoyed it. We need to come up with more topics like this.
Yeah, man. It was fun. I understand your perspective,
and I definitely understand yours. 100%. I get it.
And that's what the
platform. And at the end of the day, we both. And at the end of the day, I think we both want the same thing. We both want diversity, but we both have a different way of approaching it.
Can we hear some of that?
What? No, trying to put me on blast.
Come on, Rick. Come on.
Let's go, Rick.
Do it for the fans.
My mouth is dry. Hold up.
Oh, yeah.
All right, which song? Part of Your World. All right.
Make me cry my eyes out.
I don't know how it starts, but we'll go with somewhere in the middle. All right.
Somewhere in the middle.
All right. All right. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many?
How did I end up in this part of my life? I'm listening to Rick sing Little Mermaid, man.
I'm telling you, I'm sure you saw him with his blue shirt, his Little Mermaid shirt.
This was fun, bro.
Yeah, I bet it was. You got to sing a Little Mermaid. Part of your world, what would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand?
Do the eye twitch.
The eye switch. Stupid.
When you say that.
They understand that you don't reprimand your daughters. Pregnant women, sick of swimming, ready to stand and ready to go where the people go.
All right. He's down.
We just reached 1 follower now.
Yeah, man, I love that movie. The music is fantastic. It's just a really great story. I enjoy it.
Sounds good, bro. Sounds good, man.
I started. I can't finish. I'm about to keep going.
No, we're good. We're good with that. Bro,
Be about to go watch it after this podcast.
This was an absolute pleasure, Rick. I appreciate the talk.
You got it.
Our podcast has been brought to you by.
Yeah, for those of you joining us today, man, for the first time, consider subscribing to our channel, man. It's going to be fun. If you guys want to join us at the Facebook group, you know, you guys can bring your conversation there. You can bring your ideas here, and we'll create a show out of it. The idea, like I said, is an open platform to talk about anything that you feel passionate about. And like I said, like I always say, we don't have to agree on everything, man, but we should definitely be able to talk about it. You guys rock. You guys make this shit work, man. Without you guys, this shit doesn't work. I appreciate you guys. Kyle, you the fucking man.
You the
Mike,
man. I love you.
You the man. You rock. You better. Shit. Shit's deeper than color, all right? It's deeper than color.
What we talking about tomorrow, bro?
We'll go over the list. We got a whole bunch of topics, but we'll also touch base with the people inside the group. You guys come up with some fantastic topics, so we'll see you guys there. And if you guys want to continue this conversation over at the Facebook page, you're more than welcome to. I'll see you guys there. And again, man,
can we just give a thanks to all the people in the comments? They really helped out with a lot of insight.
No, absolutely. Go ahead, man. Show them love, baby. Show them love.
No, just everyone in the comments. I really, really appreciate the comments and putting us up on some things. And just, you know, being engaged in the conversation. Really appreciate it.
Knowledge is power.
That's right, man. And thank you guys for your input, man. Like I said, you guys have different experiences, different reasons for why you believe certain things, and that's what this is all about, man. There was an episode where I was inspired by Kyle, and there was an episode where Kyle was inspired by me, and this is an episode where we just said, nah. Yeah. So until next time, man, you guys, see you tomorrow, man. Love you guys. Take care. Be good. Have a fantastic evening. You guys stick around for the after party.
Ooh,
Food is a great topic.
with some singing.
Yeah.